Okay. Any visitors who haven't signed the visitors book yet? Did you sign once? That's enough. Did you sign the visitors book already? Any other visitors here today? Did you sign the visitors book? Thank you. Did you sign the visitors book? You're a member.
That there are new members, so many things happened in 2 months. Today we have a special meeting because we are going to elect the committee that is going to lead the club as of the 1st of July. But before that, let's say hello to all the guests and visitors that are today. Since I'm not sure anymore who's a guest, who is a member, I'll ask you if you want to introduce yourself, or maybe who brought you can also introduce you to the club if this person is here.
Yeah, the person is... Hi, everyone. The person who brought me here is Claire, and she's sick. Yeah, she did not introduce me, unfortunately. So we let do the job. Hello, everyone. My name is Annalisa, and... wait, what am I supposed to say? My name? And I've joined... And Claire brought me to Toastmasters.
Is this your first time as a guest?
That's my first time as a guest, and it was the first time I heard about Toastmasters, so I'm completely new to the whole thing.
Welcome. Thank you. And, you'll see what the meeting is about, because today we have a special session in the business section of the meeting, because we will elect the committee, but the rest of the meeting you will realize is a standard process.
Thanks for having me.
Please. Another guest.
Hi, my name is Marizel, and this is my second time. I was here back in March, but I didn't have time to come again, so nobody brought me in. For me. I was looking for something that would not talk in front of people, so I think this is it.
Hi, my name is Ahmad. This is my third time as a guest, and from today I want to be a member.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Welcome. Do we have any other? No. Suresh, yes.
So my name is Suresh. I am part of CAC Chennai Club based in Chennai, India. I am here in Vienna for a period of 6 weeks. So to make the most use of my time here, I look for a club, and BAC is where I really work for. I came here to support UNIDO for some time. So I'm quite happy to be here. This is my second meeting with BAC. Thank you.
We asked all the guests at the end of the meeting what their impressions were about the meeting, if they think this is something they are interested in joining or not. And especially you, because Suresh, you are a member of another Toastmasters club. Maybe you can tell us something you saw we do differently here, or any insights about your experiences back in India at the end of the meeting, okay?
Sure, that's why I have taken up gender evaluation.
Great. Oh, wow, you're thinking a role. Fantastic. So, next point in the business session. You have a point of order?
I think we have another guest, small guest.
Well, yes. Let me introduce them. We have my mother, the person with the grey hair, and the baby. She's Amalia, she's my baby, and she was born almost 8 weeks ago. So, thank you. Actually, I received a very beautiful present from all of you, so thank you very, very, very much. And I have to say that it might happen that I have to run out. I hope not during the election. If she gets loud, but I try to come back and calm her down before I come in again. So, the next point in the business session of the agenda is the election of the committee that will lead the club as of the 1st of July for 1 year until the 30th of June 2016. Any member can hold a position in the executive committee. It just depends on your initiative. We rotate the positions normally. This year I was the president and I will be the president of the club until 30th of June. Then somebody else will take over the presidency and I will be just another member, like consulting member of the committee, but I won't have a role.
Immediate past
President.
president,
Exactly.
executive committee member.
Thank you. So everybody can do it. This is a club where everybody has to do, and that's how we learn. And it's important that everybody becomes an active member, and we need everybody's help in the committee because there is a lot to do, and also that's how one learns a lot about Toastmasters, not only just by taking roles in the meetings, but it's totally optional. So we'll commence the election. And as every year, what we do is we follow parliamentary procedure to conduct the election. I'm looking at you are the audience, including me, and I declare we have enough quorum to conduct the election.
I just have a point of order. I
Please,
don't
Maria
think we
Teresa.
have enough quorum, but I'm not going to argue. A quorum is ordinarily half of the members. How many people in this room are members? Okay, is that half of the group? Is that half of the? Okay, I'm not going to fight, but I just think it's important that we observe parliamentary procedure and also honor to our statutes.
Thank you, Maria Teresa, for your point. It's a fair point. And what we have discussed before the meeting was that since we foresee that the election is going to run quite smoothly and we need to get it done, it's the time of the year when we need the election, and we don't expect that later on somebody will have a, I don't want to say a complaint, but say, I would have liked to participate, because we have more or less asked everybody. We thought, okay, we can run it anyway, and we will consider it valid. So, following the procedures, there was a nominating committee that was formed to look for potential candidates to be part of the next committee. So I will now call upon the chairman of that committee, the nominating committee. This was Toastmaster Otto, and he will tell us the result of what he did.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests also, it is custom in Toastmasters clubs that one of the former presidents, the immediate past presidents, or another former president takes care about finding candidates for the new committee. So this time also several former presidents work together. And since I am one of the former presidents who is not himself also a candidate for the new committee, I will now report on the nominations. But I want to stress that these are just nominations. This is not yet, at that point in time, the new committee. This is just the nominations. Because there will be the chance to still nominate other candidates from the floor, as our presiding officer will do in a few minutes. So, we have a nomination for the president. It's Valerie Garlic. She cannot be here today, but she, as all the other candidates, confirmed beforehand that if elected, they are prepared and willing to accept the position and to do their best for the club. So, the candidate for president is Valerie. For Vice President Education, Lili Gundacker. For Vice President Membership, Enoch Alpe. For Vice President Public Relations, Anthony Kamunde. For Treasurer, Brigitte Jonas. For Surgery and Arms, Rina Totakara. And for Secretary, Nicole Gariazzi. So these are the candidates proposed by the nomination committee, and now I ask the presiding officer to continue with the procedure.
So, you have heard the nominations collected by the nominating committee. I think I now need a member to move and another member to second the proposal, right?
Point of order, I propose to first ask for nominations from the floor.
Thank you, thank you. So, the rest of you, you all have the chance, if you want to be nominated, you can nominate yourself or somebody else can nominate you. Are there any nominations from the floor for any of the 7 positions? So, I should ask 3 times. I think it was quite clear that there are no nominations from the floor. So I close the possibility to make nominations from the floor. And now,
Okay, I have a motion. I move that we elect the whole committee in one election, in one vote, as proposed by the nomination committee.
I second that.
thank you.
Thank you.
So now we can proceed to the election of the committee for 15-16. And those who are in favor have to say A. Those who are not in favor have to say no. So, who is in favor?
All those in favor?
A.
Aye.
So, it's, I think, an unanimous.
But you have,
Sorry, yeah. Any opposed should say no. So now, I can say that by unanimous consent, I declare the 2015-16 Executive Committee elected. If you want to stand up once more, Anthony, Nicole, Lily, Brigitte, and Ino. So they will they run the club as of the 1st of July, plus Rina and plus Valerie, and we have to be very thankful because there is a lot of work to do when one runs the executive committee of the club, but it's totally gratifying. So I invite all of you to think for next year. Approach us. And with this, I think we can close the session of the voting of the next committee. And if there are no other business session, we'll start the proper meeting. So I will hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, Maria Teresa.
thank you, Madam President. Fellow Toastmasters, our guests. It's not a good thing not to come to Toastmasters regularly. I haven't been here very much this year, and what I see in this room is very positive, but I see many faces I don't know. I didn't even realize the difference between the members and the guests, but this is very, very encouraging. By the way, the guests are welcome to come 3 times before you decide whether you're going to join. All the gentlemen today indicated you want to become a member straight away, so I get you in touch with our membership vice president. I stepped in spontaneously, as usual, to be the Toastmaster of the day. You know, I can't say no to this club. So I have to at least mention a few additions and or addendums to the agenda. Of course, if you want to write this in now, I'm your Toastmaster of the day. The grammarian is Toastmaster Anthony. And otherwise, I think we're sticking to our proposed agenda. For the benefit of the guests, in a Toastmaster meeting, we always have 3 distinct sections. We have a section where we have prepared speeches. We have a section where we have our so-called table topics. These are the impromptu speeches that people give. You're asked a question, stand up, and have to speak to a topic for 2 minutes. And then the last part of the Toastmaster meeting is the evaluation. And they all are important. And speaking of evaluation, at this stage in the meeting, I'd like to turn over to today's general evaluator, Toastmaster Suresh. Will you please announce your team?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here for the second consecutive meeting. And also, I am very glad to take up the role of a general evaluator. As the Toastmaster mission says, Toastmaster provides a positive learning experience. The evaluation session of Toastmaster plays a vital part in it. The evaluation is not to criticize anybody, it is to motivate. The whole purpose of evaluation session of Toastmaster is to evaluate, to motivate. Whoever comes on stage, they should gain the confidence and they should be willing to come back and speak. That's the whole purpose of evaluation. As a general evaluator today, I'll be noting down the overall proceedings of the meeting, and towards the end of the meeting, I'll be providing the good things about the meeting and also the areas of improvement. And also I have a team of people here to support me all throughout the Toastmaster session. So I have a team called TAG team, Timer, Counter and Grammarian, who evaluate the overall proceeding. Let me introduce them now, and I will request them to tell about what their role is. So let me call upon the timer of the day, to introduce himself.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and our distinguished guests. My role today will be to keep accurate timing of the events and the speeches that will be going on today. Mainly, I'll be more concerned with the prepared speeches, which will take from 5 to 7 minutes at the most. The table topics will take at the most 2 minutes each, and the evaluations of the evaluators will be 3 minutes at the most. I will be signifying your progress with its cards here. When I raise the green one, that means you're within time. You should be preparing to round up. When I raise the yellow one, that means you should be rounded up. And the red one means you've exceeded the time. And should I ever raise this, that means I'm telling you, you need to go. As we work together, we will learn and grow. Thank you so much.
Okay, now, to play the role of all-counter, we have a wonderful Toastmaster. She says she is very new, she is new to Toastmaster Club, but if you have listened to her speech last week, you would say that she is a seasoned one. She told us how to manage stress last week. And she has been here in BIC for the last 10 years and working for Enido. Let's put our hands together to welcome Zillian, the all-counter of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Suresh. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, my role today is to count the ahas and the ahums and any gaps in between the words. So I will be doing some counting. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. The next role player in the tag team is a grammarian role. This is one of the difficult roles to play. It is not that something that you can do it on the fly. You need to prepare the word of the day and you should be prepared to explain it. But there is someone in our team who has taken it up in the last minute and ready to explain the word of the day to us. Let's put our hands together to welcome Anthony.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests. Today I'm your grammarian. I took this role at the last minute, and my role is to try and check any positive and negative usage of the English language. We usually have a word of the day, and the word of the day today is joy. Joy is an emotion of great delight or happiness caused by something exceptionally good or satisfying. Like when Magdalena came here, she brought us a bottle of joy. So joy will be our word of the day. I'll watch how many times you use the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. General.
So with this team introduction, I would like to hand over control back to the Toastmaster of the day to take over the proceedings. I will come back a little later with the reports from others.
Now, ordinarily we would proceed with the prepared speech section, but I'm going to make an exception. It's going to be short. We have a Toastmaster who has been in our club for quite some time, who happens to come from Nepal. We know what's been going on in that part of the world. I'd like to offer her a very brief opportunity to come to the podium and speak what she'd like to tell the Toastmaster Club. Toastmaster Shuba.
Hello Toastmasters, honored guests. The most devastating earthquake on 25th April in Nepal, the magnitude of 7.8, killed more than 8,000 people, and there are now no actual numbers known yet because some of the places are so difficult to reach. There's no transport one should use by. You should go to these places by foot. It takes 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 6 days, 8 days to reach in those villages. So we don't have any news from those villages, and Nepal's communication is totally destroyed, and there is no means to know how they are doing, how many people are buried. So this is the situation right now, and thousands and thousands of people are victims of this earthquake. They are injured, they are living in the streets, they are living in the tents, they are waiting for the doctors, they are waiting for the medical care, they are waiting for the basic needs. For example, even water was so scarce there, because we have enough water coming from the mountains, but unfortunately when it reaches in the Kathmandu city or the other cities, it's already polluted, so it is not good to drink the water, people get sick. That's why the scarcity of water, the very basic need was not there when this catastrophe happened. This disastrous moment was there, people were victimized, many people were killed, but those who were living, who had to live, survive, they even didn't have the most important thing in the life, water to survive. So now, unfortunately today, I got another news in the morning saying that 7.2 magnitude earthquake freshly took place in the morning. And that happened in the mountain Everest areas, and there are panics, and until then, from 25th April to now, there have been 150 aftershocks, and they are not aftershock for me personally, because they are really very powerful earthquakes again taking place, like 6.5, 4.5, and so on and so forth. So you just can imagine how people are living there in panic, hysterical, always running out, running in. So they are simply, I don't know how to explain the situation there now, yeah? It is simply terrible, horrible, whatever you say, it's dreadful. So this earthquake also destroyed almost all the ancient monuments in Kathmandu. So Kathmandu was like a museum. So many foreigners, they go there for hiking, climbing mountains, but they also go there for these temples to like the cultural heritages, to visit them and so on. Now they are totally destroyed. And there are some UNESCO heritage sites also totally destroyed. And there are many, many temples. Our forefathers, our leaders, hundreds of years ago, they always gave priority to make the temple. Instead of making streets or roads, they always said, oh, I must do as much as temples there. So there are unlimited temples, they were. Now they are almost all gone. So this is material, but the casualties of people are really very, very in a miserable condition, because we don't have enough hospitals, we don't have even emergency cars to take the people to the hospital, we don't have enough medicines. So these are all lacking at the moment there. And people are, of course, living there, but they are so helpless, so helpless. And we are also somehow so helpless here, not being able to go there personally, physically to help them, because each one has also obligations here, work, family, and so on. But what we are doing is trying to raise funds and to transfer the money as soon as possible to Kathmandu associations and organizations who are directly connected with this earthquake relief matters. So this is what we are doing, and last week also we collected in the BIC some money, which was a good sum, and we have immediately transferred. And this money now has been used already by those who are working for relief organization to go to the field and to take care of those sick people at the first place. And also there are so many children in the street now. They lost their parents. The small children, they don't know what's happening, they are innocent. And one of the organizations, I was so happy to know that, actually this is from India, one yoga guru was there, and he was giving lectures about yoga and so on. And he happened to be a savior there, because he helped 500 children on the spot and said, I will take care of those children. Of course, there is bureaucracy and so on. So these types of things are going on. There are many foreigners who are helping them, and unfortunately 200 foreigners, mountain climbers, they also passed away because of this avalanche in Mount Everest. But many of the foreigners who are there for visiting and also climbing mountains, I really greatly appreciate. They stay there, although they have choice to leave the country. They said, now Nepal needs our help, so we help, so they remain there and help as long as possible, and they did. And this is very much appreciated. And also many nations actually went there to help.
Toastmaster Suba, I'm afraid
Yeah.
I didn't realize. What can we do?
Okay.
What are you proposing?
Yes, well, Nepal is helpless now, and it needs help, I don't know in what magnitude. Each and everything is needed there. So at this, I would like to take this opportunity to request you all to think of Nepal at this very, very difficult moment. And I just request you to please help Nepal.
Toastmaster Suba, I think you can see how close she is to all of this. I felt her emotion. Of course, we can't feel the pain of these people, but I knew this was something you wanted to express to us, and I'm very glad you did. But now we're going to move to the prepared speeches. And I'm afraid I have not been briefed on the project number. Oh, well, it looks like it's project number 2, which is organizing your speech. So that sounds all very easy, doesn't it? I also have not been briefed as to whether there's a title to the speech. Is there a title?
Time to enjoy and embrace the renewable energy revolution.
Well, the gentleman has already proclaimed his title. It's going to be 5 to 7 minutes. Maybe we ask the evaluator to give us the objectives of the project, that everybody in this room can see what the speaker is trying to accomplish in this. And in order to do that, I call upon Toastmaster Otto to tell us the objectives of project number 2.
Yes. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, it's the second project in the basic speech manual entitled Organize Your Speech. So the objectives are relatively simple to express. It is very important in that speech, like in any other speech, but it's the focus of this project, to have a clear structure. It means a clear and strong opening, a body, and a clear and strong conclusion. The audience should understand what the message, what the purpose of the speech is. It should have an outline which can be easily followed and understood. So usually the recommendation is that the body should have about 3 major points, and those points should be supported by additional material. And in addition, the speaker should also be careful about making appropriate transitions from one point to the next. So this is something which is important in any speech, but in the second one, project number 2, the speaker is really asked to focus especially on the speech structure.
Thank you, Toastmaster Otto. So let's move right ahead, and let me introduce, even though I have never met the gentleman. Again, I haven't been in Toastmasters for a while, so it's a brand new face. But he's already at project number 2, so I'm sure I'm going to be very impressed. So it's my great pleasure to introduce you to our first speaker, Toastmaster Jensen.
Toastmasters, honored guests, imagine yourselves to be in an open doors event where the main reason of you being there is to decide whether you should join a master's degree for the next upcoming years, 2 years. And the speaker has been invited there to share his personal experiences about this study, and most important, try to endorse the study program. It is my understanding that the main reason we are here tonight is to answer a 20,000 euro question. Why should you join the program? Money apart, why should you invest your time and energies in the next 4 semesters? And I don't know if I have a clear-cut answer to that. I'll try to share with you my personal experience, and before doing that, I would also like to briefly touch upon the current energy situation on a global scale and the work we are doing at UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Organization, Development Organization, where I work. I have the chance to work. And after that, I will briefly touch upon the key arguments that I think are important for you to take into consideration while making your choice. First, I'd like to show a brief map which is called the Great Acceleration. This has been recently published by the Earth Institute in collaboration with Stockholm Resilience Center. And the main point of this diagram is the following. There have been developments, serious developments since 1950s onwards, both from an Earth perspective system and also from a socio-economic trend. And what happens is that we have a very important strain on Earth resources. We have a large growth of global population. We have large global growth of urban population on one hand, and these are socio-economic trends together with the increasing rise of transportation and tourism and so on. And on the other side, we have a huge depletion of resources. And the systems are getting strained more and more. We have a huge carbon dioxide rise, methane, extinction of biomass, but also biospecies. And this is quite threatening for the future of our planet Earth. This study also comes out in conjunction with another study, updated study from the Stockholm Center, which mentions the current status of the so-called planetary boundaries. They have identified 9 boundaries, and these range from biosphere integrity to climate change to biochemistry flows and ozone depletion and so on. And what you see here in red is the biosphere integrity, especially it's threatening the part of species loss. More and more genetic diversity is being lost, and species are getting exterminated. We also have a very dangerous use of nitrogen and phosphorus, which is already in the red line, and we are, most important, chartering a territory which is not still safe to know where it will lead us with regards to climate change. And climate change is a major determinant factor with regards to the latest global energy development market, because climate change obliges humanity to really make a shift to energy production and think about leaving behind this dependence on fossil fuels. There is an urgent need, not a gradual but a transformational need to go towards renewable sources of energy. And the other side of the coin is also energy poverty, energy security. We should never forget that there are at least 1.3 billion people around the world who don't have access to electricity. We also have 2.6 billion people who cook with whatever they can, with biomass, with wood charcoal and animal waste to make a living. There have been positive developments with regards to energy, renewable energy and climate change initiatives. This September, world leaders will gather in New York at the General Assembly to determine the Sustainable Development Goals, which are going to replace the Millennium Goals. And among these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, there will specifically be energy as a key goal to be achieved, and the main aim is to achieve energy sustainability through the form of renewable energy solutions. Secondly, by December of this year in Paris, there will be the Conference of the Parties, and all the world leaders will make binding commitments, internationally binding commitments to reduce greenhouse gases and find nationally appropriate mitigation measures towards the achievement of fighting climate change. And this is a crucial part of what we have been doing at UNIDO. We are present at 60 plus countries with a focus on the least developed and developing countries. We try to boost the national capacity of these countries with regards to their legislative measures put in place, also technical capacity, and most important, we try to find and establish financing mechanism to boost renewable energy projects in these countries. And there's also good news, most important, about renewable energy solutions. Bloomberg Financial Studies just came out a month ago, finding out in an analysis that for the first time in history, the new added capacity, additional capacity, has been higher for renewable energy in comparison to coal, gas, and all the fossil fuels combined. So there is a very important market developing out there, and this will quadruple within 2030. And this is not only one first major factor which makes me invite you, strongly urge you to join this master's program. With regards to the study program per se, I underline the fact that it is highly versatile, very internationally oriented. It won't turn you into experts within one night, but it will certainly give you the ground knowledge, the basic technical knowledge that you need to have to pursue your future careers in renewable energy projects. And I also like the fact that all the lectures are being taught by highly esteemed professors and practitioners in the field. They really are getting their hands dirty with building renewable energy projects. And this is very important for you to understand also the hidden aspects behind these projects. And finally, I think this study program has already become a community of experts. There are more than 400 people now having successfully completed this study, and this provides an excellent opportunity for networking and for finding solutions to your future projects. As Steve Marapoli once said, it's not about what I see in our future or for our humanity, it's what I do that really matters. Thank you.
Please give me my agenda back, otherwise I'm lost without my script.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Sorry. So thank you for a very informative and very topical presentation. Our next prepared speech is going to be given by a relatively new Toastmaster. I have had the pleasure to meet before in the Toastmaster meeting, and I found her to be bubbly, enthusiastic, and positive. I know. That comes later. Oh, that comes later. Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it comes now. I have been informed of the fact that I have neglected to mention, in fact, I don't think everybody has one, and not everybody should, at least in my opinion. Any of the members who are here in the room today can make comments about any of the speakers, the Toastmaster of the day, but mainly to vote for the best table topic speaker. We have these long strips of paper. Do the members all have a piece of that? Was that distributed? Did you get that in hand? If you need some, okay. I would need one, by the way. Oh, thank you very much. Again, this is not a procedure or whatever, but I've always been of the opinion that I think the feedback is more important from the members. And I don't see why a guest should have privileges that a member doesn't have. But again, this is my own personal opinion. It's not been verified by any committee or anything. So let's get on with it. Back to Glenda. She's giving a speech and wow, you're already up to project number 3. I really haven't been here for a long time. Again, bubbly, enthusiastic, and positive. Her speech is going to be from the basic manual. It's project number 3, getting to the point. So again, I ask the evaluator, who is Mr. Maya, to define her objectives.
Today I have the joy to evaluate Toastmaster Glenda's speech, that is project number 3, and I read here her objectives. She should select a speech topic and determine its general and specific purpose. She is supposed to organize the speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes. She should ensure that the beginning, body and the conclusion reinforce the purposes and project sincerely. She should control her any nervousness that she might feel, and she should try to speak as much as possible without notes. These are the objectives of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maya. So now, without any further ado, and with great joy, I invite Toastmaster Glenda to come to the podium to deliver project number 3 on Mother's Day. Project number 3.
Thank you, Toastmaster, today. Hello, Toastmasters and our guests. I was born 39 years ago. 39 years ago, and I had an amazing childhood. I always took both my parents. But on this Mother's Day, I could say, yes, Mom, you're the one that has been a great influence in my life. And that with great joy has been able to help me in forming my personality. My mom is a very kind woman. She taught me how to be kind to people. She taught me how to smile, to be positive, to have friends, to share, to feel joy, never to hurt anyone. My mom always took my brother and me to school, picked us up. She took us to all our curricular activities. She was always there for us. Yes, I had an amazing childhood. My father has accompanied us along the way, and he showed us the way. He taught me how to reach for the stars, and if I needed help, he would come and help me. He was the one actually that showed me that I could reach anything I wanted. But it was my mother that finalized that circle, with her love, with her patience, with her tenderness, with her positivism and joy, showing me how things are done. 6 years already, I'm a mother. And my boy is passing now from one stage of life to the next one. He's going to start primary school soon. And of course I want to give to him what it has been given to me. I want to try to be the best mom he can have. And then I think, what is actually the best mom? How is the best mom? So I have read many articles and books about it. And I found an article that was interesting and I wanted to share it with you. It actually characterizes moms in 5
types. First would be the drama mom. The drama mom would be the kind of mother that wants to be in all stages and know everything about her son or daughter. Then would be the educator mom. The educator mom would be the kind of person that wants to have everything perfect for their son. TV, no TV, healthy food, as an example. Then would be the martyr mom. The martyr mom would be the kind of person that wants to carry everyone on their shoulders, the kind of person that wants to be for everyone, for family, for friends, for neighbors, and doesn't give too much time on herself. Then there would be the snowball mom, as they call it, the kind of mom that wants to clean the path for their children, is the super mom. And the last type would be the laissez-faire mom. The laissez-faire, the kind of gives freedom to their children to decide. Then I ask myself, what type of mom am I? I don't know. I don't really know if I want to characterize myself. And probably thinking about it, I am all these moms together. But why that? Because I probably have the best things of all these characteristics in one. What does this teach us? That we can have a mom that is probably from one type or from several types together. That makes our mothers unique. That makes us unique. So, if your mother is near you, then go to her, visit her, hug her. Not only on Mother's Day. Show her that she's important. If your mother is far away, like mine is, then call her, not only on Mother's Day, and show her that you care. If your mom has passed away to paradise, then think about her, because she is watching over you, I'm sure. And if you're a mom, then congratulations, because you have the honor to be called mother by your son or by your daughter. So let's unite ourselves for the celebration of Mother's Day. Thank you.
Toastmaster Glenn, it was everything I was expecting before, and I could hear the joy and passion. But now we have to move on to another section, and I'm afraid I don't even know you, Monica, but I'm going to have to ask you, as the table topics master, maybe only to present 3 questions, because we're really, really running out of time, whereby I would like the guests to get a flavor about what a table topic is. I briefly say, a table topic is a question that somebody proposes, you have no idea what it's about, and you have to stand up and speak for a maximum of 2 minutes on the subject. Now, it all sounds very easy, 2 minutes, it's quick, it's fast. I remember some of my first experiences with the table topics, where I was fine for the first 30 seconds, and then guess what happened? I dried up. I stuttered. Don't count that as an all, by the way, listen to know. I stuttered, I did all kinds of, and it was so embarrassing and so embarrassing. But I forced myself to go through it, because it's really good practice for thinking on your feet. So, with your kind permission, with a reduced version of table topics, may I invite Toastmaster Monica to come to the podium and offer us these impromptu speeches. Toastmaster Monica.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Did you perhaps think about preparing a speech and finally you couldn't find time to do so? Or did you perhaps thought yesterday about finally going to bed early, but somehow you were watching a movie and you didn't do so? Many people believe that they could improve or change their lives by having willpower. Willpower is like self-determination. It's called drive or auto-control, self-control. And with more self-control, we would like to improve, or we would change our lives. We would do many things differently. Like, for example, quit smoking, spend less time on Facebook, perhaps getting up a little bit earlier to do some sports. But it's not so easy. So willpower is the ability to resist short-term temptations in order to reach our long-term goals. As I said, one of the most important things that make us change is this self-determination. Do you have some experience in your life where you thought, oh my God, here I really resisted the temptation and used my willpower to achieve some goal? Toastmaster Ahmed, perhaps you might want to share an experience with us.
Fellow Toastmasters, it's really funny to ask me this question as someone who doesn't have willpower at all. I started realizing that maybe a couple of months ago when I started planning for my life. I lived for almost 34 years without planning, just live, I do whatever I want. Then I realized that I need to achieve certain goals in my life. So I have to plan ahead and then execute these plans until I reach my goals. So I started with planning, and then I realized, oh my God, I don't achieve anything of what I have planned to. Then one of the plans is to study master degree, Then I finished my bachelor degree 11 years ago, and I till now did not study master because I don't have the willpower. So I started to test myself with free courses from one of the open courses on the internet. And then I start a course and I never finish it. So now I'm trying to concentrate about how I work smarter, how I free up to time box all of the activities I'm doing. Trying some software of time management and how to get the things done. One of the most effective things I found is to use a Kanban board, just some kind of time management technologies. So I started making some progress, and I hope maybe in the next few months that I can say that I did some achievement in my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ahmed. Actually, you already touched my next point, because some people say that for achieving your goals, you need some strategy. First of all, you need motivation. I mean, if you don't have motivation, you are not going to set a clear goal and pursue it. The second strategy would be to track your behavior, just to revise or to monitor if you are really on a good way to achieve your goal. And of course, the third thing, the important thing, would be like this drive that makes you go for something and really work hard for that. My next question goes to Maricel. Do you have a kind of a system that helps you track your advancement to reach a goal, to revise or monitor what you're doing?
Thank you for the question. We have many goals in life, so it's quite difficult to track them. But through the years, I'm turning 50 next year, I've come up with some strategies which I think I found useful, and they've been boxed into strategies that I use at work and those that I use at home. If I may dwell on what I do at work. So one very important strategy that I found is, of course, trying to really manage your time well. So we have the technology to help with that one, and that's something I use a lot. For example, all our calendar is, so if I have a goal to do something, put it in the calendar, make sure I have the steps that I want to do to reach that goal, put in timelines, and go for it. So that's one way of doing it. Another thing, which might sound very simple, can't even be called a strategy or a technique, is the use of this very simple but very useful thing, the Post-its. So this, for me, simple it may seem, but it's also something that helps with achieving goals that I have. Thank you.
Actually, as you know, nowadays you can track almost anything. You track your sleep, you track the way you drive with the GPS. You can even track how many calories you burn a day. And you can track also how many steps you make a day. But some people think that not only being an intelligent person or having a very high IQ can help you be successful in your career. The most important thing apparently is like really having this self-discipline. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Kolade perhaps, do you agree with this affirmation?
Hello, fellow Toastmasters. I totally agree with you, but to me, I like to say, I procrastinate a lot, and really to try to achieve one's goal is quite difficult, and for you to have determination is another challenge. Most of us have this rule, you're determined to want to achieve a goal, but at the end of the day, you have some things that might distract you along the line, and it's quite difficult for you to achieve what you plan to achieve in life. That's all. Thank you.
Any questions?
So I think are very, very good topics, Master, for today. This is, I think, a pity that we had to do a reverse thing, but I'm looking at the clock over here, and ordinarily we endeavor to finish around 1:30. So I thank you at least for your kind permission in doing a revise. But I'm sure we'd be honored to be Topics Master again, because I really liked what I heard. I thought there were good questions. So now we move on to the section that is going to be conducted by our guest, Toastmaster, our general evaluator of today, Toastmaster Suresh, for the evaluation section of this Toastmaster.
Good afternoon again. I would like to call upon DTM Otto to evaluate the speech of Genshin, please.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and in particular Toastmaster Genshin. It was really an interesting speech. We could all hear and see that you were talking about a topic you are very familiar with, you were very well prepared, and it's a very important topic. So I think we all look forward to hear more interesting, informative, and probably also other speeches from you. Nevertheless, I have a couple of suggestions. To me, you are kind of, in German, it's a raw diamond. There is a lot of very good material which needs a little adjustment here or there. The first thing is the title of your speech. So you are a relatively new member, so there's one important thing, make sure that the Toastmaster of the day knows your title, in writing if possible, especially if it's a little longer. Of course, we had a lot of improvisation today, so maybe it was not possible, but in that case it would be good if you yourself, when you start your speech, repeat the title, because it was not so simple, and many of us, including myself, probably couldn't quite catch your complete title. Your beginning was very good, because you started with a question, and that's always good to raise the audience's interest and get them to listen. The structure of the speech was the main focus here, and in my opinion, it was only partly met because you had a lot of material, and you will get used to get material for 5 to 7 minutes. And I think you had too much material to get it to the audience in such a short time. So this is often the most difficult thing. You know a lot, you have a lot of material, and then to decide how much can I produce in 5 to 7 minutes, and how much will the audience be able to absorb. And to me, it was too much, and probably to some others too. And it was rather technical, so if you have technical information, it is important to have visual aids. You had some, but I had almost the impression they were more for yourself than for the audience. They were very small, sometimes you were looking at them, so most of them were not very useful for the audience because we couldn't really see them. So if you come with such relatively complex technical information, if you decide so, then you should use a flip chart or even project some slides so we can really understand.
Slides, I wasn't sure whether I could use them.
Yeah, but this is But if you, but that's the problem, and that's the job of the speaker to take such decisions. And if you want to use slides to check beforehand and come early with the equipment, so it's not so easy. But this is the choice. But it's very difficult to get such relatively complicated technical information over to the audience if you do not have good visual aids. The conclusion was good, but it could have been pronounced a little stronger. So apparently you were a little, you wanted to get rid of the job somehow, but it's important to state it and pronounce the conclusion strongly so that really everybody understands it. What I found good is that you had notes, but you did not look at them very often, so you more or less didn't need them really, except 2 or 3 times I noticed you were looking at them, so that was very good. And you were very knowledgeable. Because I was sitting where you are sitting now, I saw that apparently you were a little nervous, like I'm doing now. You were stepping around a little bit, and sometimes periodically you put your hand in your pocket, which is not necessary. It's better to do some gestures. So this is a sign of nervousness, but it's okay for the second speech. But just one thing to think about. All in all, I found it very good. And I don't know whether you have already been assigned a mentor, but I think you would be a very good candidate because you have a lot of good raw material, and I think a mentor who maybe will listen to a press rehearsal of your speech could really help you to get even several steps at once before your next speech, to which I really look forward.
To evaluate our next speaker, Brenda, we have another DTM, Maija.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I have the joy to evaluate Glenda today, and 3 very important goals she had in this speech is to organize the speech, control the nervousness, and speak mainly without notes. And I think all of these goals you met very well. And what is the key to do that? I think it is the right selection of the topic. I think it is a very important thing to think what is the topic that I'm familiar with. I personally always like these topics which are close to the heart of the person. That means personal topics. And that was one which you really felt very comfortable to talk about. And I think that was the key of your good success today, to control your speech. You don't need to be nervous when you speak about your mother or when you speak about yourself as a mother, and you found a certain criteria. You have written somewhere what type of mothers there are. Yes, that's a good thing to mention. We all mothers, I'm a mother as well, we can think, am I a drama mother or maybe a laissez-faire rather. It's nice to think about it, and I think one of the goals is to entertain the listeners, and I felt that you did that. You said at the end, thank you. I think, and that is also to other speakers, rather we thank you. That is a rule in Toastmasters. We don't say thank you. We have to give the last sentence that the listeners understand, otherwise that this is the end of the speech. By the way, I have a daughter who is more or less your age, and I really wish my daughter would speak about her mother. So I had a very warm feeling listening to you, and I thank you for giving this speech.
It's great to have the distinguished Toastmasters, the DTM, the highest accolade in Toastmasters, to give the evaluation report to us. Moving on to the tag team report, may I call upon the timer to read out the report, please?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. It's been a privilege to serve as a timekeeper today. Generally, the timekeeping was fair. The prepared speech, Jetnan used 9 minutes 42 seconds. That was way up the mark. And Glenda used 6 minutes 8 seconds. That was within the frame. The first evaluation by Marja, she used 2 minutes 1 second. That's what Jetnan. With regards to table topics timing, Ahmed used 1 minute 45 seconds. That was excellent. Marizelle used 1 minute 38 seconds. That was perfect. Kolade used 39 seconds. That was less than the required time, which is 1 minute. Author's evaluation, maybe because of giving glances if comments were being taken. He used 4 minutes 22 seconds. And Maja used 2 minutes 34 seconds for Glenda's evaluation. Thank you all for having me serve you.
Thank you. May I call upon the accountant to do the report, please?
Thank you. I have here a general count. I think the highest, there I go again myself, number of ahas was set by Monica with 10 ahas and 1 and you had 1 filler, which is not really worth even mentioning. But the prepared speeches were very smooth. Gentian had 3 ahas and 3 repetitions of the word and. Glenda had no ahas and no She was very smooth indeed. So I'm sure our guests are quite impressed with the speakers today. Lily didn't have a speech at all. The other speakers, they were also very good. There was only 2 ahas from Maritza, which is excellent. She's not even a Toastmaster yet, but she will be joining us. So that's very few ahas in general today. Thank you.
Little one. It's just that we have this nice little box here. And you see, by the end of the year, it's got to be full. That's a joke. It doesn't have to be full, but people who use hums and filling words have to give 10 cents per word. But we're quite nice that the upper limit is €1 anyway, no matter how many you have. So I'm just passing it on.
I want to honor the practice. I don't have money. Just you
want
the rest. We don't want to intimidate our
Moving on to my next team member, Anthony, can you give the grammarian report, please?
Thank you, Mr. General. On my report, the word of the day, there wasn't much of it because we started with a lot of joy, happiness, but then when Suba came to speak, it transitioned to sadness, sorrow. It was almost a 90 degrees turn, so there wasn't much use of the word, except when we came to the Mother's Day speech. So Greta had two, and the Everett also used it once, so that was good. Then on the positive use of the word, the two speakers had very good adjectives in describing stations. You had things like transformational, binding commitments, could wrap by particular date, high esteemed professionals, superman. These were very good. On the negative side, I picked a few, like I had something like software of time management. I think it should be time management software. Then another speaker said, what we have discussed during our last meeting, I think use what we have discussed when the time is unspecified. So what we did discuss in our last meeting was like this. And then another one said, all throughout the meeting, I think it should be all through the meeting. I think that was it. Generally, I think we all spoke good English.
Thank you, Anthony. Here comes my general evaluation report. Yeah, already over the time, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. The prepared speakers, they had two fantastic speeches. One was heavy on the mind, one was heavy on the heart. And the table topics, as usual, this club has a fantastic way of running the table topics. It's like a weaving a story. You start from a story and then move around and give the table topic, which is really fantastic. I enjoyed that part of it. I especially want to appreciate Ahmed being the first time in here, and he took up the first table topics, and he was also able to generate some humor. Please give a big And I'm very glad that DTMs are here to evaluate the speeches from the basic communicator manual, because that's what gives the club a lot of improvement, so they can bring out their experience to all the newcomers. That really helps us a lot. The tag team, you have done a fantastic job. Anthony, really appreciate you giving feedback and not specifically mentioning the individuals. That's very, very important. That's a positive way of putting things across in Toastmaster. You did a fantastic job there. And there are a few things which I would like to say, because that is being followed in the club where I came from. So I just wanted to share with you. So maybe it is the way you practice it here, but in the other clubs we do it a little differently. So what we do is, if I am not able to if I am not able to meet with somebody who is part of my team, I am not able to get an introduction, I will make up something. And I will introduce the speaker. It doesn't have to be like I really get it from him, because it's only the person and me know about this. Nobody else knows about it. So we don't have to come here and say that we don't know about that person. So that's something that we don't do in our club. And we always lead the claps, and which I have seen today, like whoever comes on the stage, we lead them with the claps, which gives a lot of energy to the team we do. And one thing we do is we use the board also for word of the day, theme of the day. So the first thing that we do when we come into the meeting is we write the word of the day and theme of the day. Otherwise it's difficult for us to remember, because even after giving so many speeches, you come here and stand, you don't even know what is going on in your mind sometimes. So it helps to have it displayed. Last time it was displayed here. So it helps to have it displayed here, so that way it's easy for people to bring it up. And we always open our club meeting with the mission statement of Toastmaster, because that's a really positive statement. And it gives us the energy to start the meeting. So in our club, the Sergeant at Arms starts the meeting. And that's a pass. Okay. So we starting the meeting on time is always a challenge for a corporate club. It has always been a challenge. So how do we make it happen is, the TM Woody in our club, he reaches out to all the key part people, make sure they arrive 5 minutes early, And if you have all the role players, we start them. So if you don't have somebody coming in on time, we just rotate the people and then we start them. And it's glad to see that there are a lot of people here taking up the role in the last minute and doing a fantastic job. And table topics, when we start, we always pick somebody who is an experienced person so that the guests know how they prepare for the speech and how they deliver the speech. So they kind of get comfortable with that. So if we just pick up a guest when they come in for the first time for the table topics, some people may not be really comfortable with that. So we table topics, we pick an experienced person for the first one. And the second one, we give it to the less experienced or new person. That way, we think that helps in our club. So I just thought I wanted to share with you. Otherwise, this is a fantastic meeting that I had, and I'm looking forward to the next meeting is going to happen in 2 weeks' time, and I will be see you again.
Thank you, Mr. Turner, evaluator. We'll be happy to have you here. The nice thing about Toastmasters is it's kind of always sort of the same, but there are these little slight differences, and I picked up on that. I enjoyed that. So we're running way past time. One thing we did neglect to do, I seem to remember, we ordinarily vote for the best table topic speaker, and you have your ballot slips. Has everybody voted? And do we have a ballot counter today? That's Toastmaster Nadia? Yes. Okay. Do we have, I guess maybe it's the president who announces the results. No. That's what the agenda says, but okay. So I will be glad to ask our ballot counter to please announce who won the best table topic today.
Yes, thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I have the joy to announce today's table topic Toastmaster. First of all, I would like to say that I like the topics very much. They really smoothly went into each other, led from one topic to the other. And today's winner was clearly Ahmed. This is the first day of a member, so yes. I think there can't be a better start winning the first session.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So, more incentive to become a member?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we've gone way past our time. That doesn't always happen, it happens sometimes. But there were lots of things that we had to do today, a lot was accomplished. So it's been my pleasure to be your Toastmaster of the day, and I return control of this very fun meeting, joyful, serious, topical, emotional, intelligent, to our quite capable Madam President, Toastmaster Marcelino.
Fellow Toastmasters and all our guests, we managed it again. It's always a joy to come here. I'm glad I managed. I wasn't sure if I was going to have too many asks from my little creature that was not going to allow me to stay the whole meeting, so I'll be quick. I would like to ask you, the guests, very briefly to tell us your opinion on the meeting. If you think this is something you would be interested, as Maria Teresa thankfully mentioned, we invite guests to come here with no commitment up to 3 times, and then if you are still interested, we would like to ask you to become a member. But please, I would like to hear your opinion first.
So thank you for allowing us to participate today. That was very interesting, and I am definitely interested in to participate. As I really don't like speaking in public, and I am required to do so. So I see that as a safe and warm space to be able to practice, and I can already see that I can learn from all of you. So yes, I am very positive about. I'm very glad that there is this room inside this building, and I can access that. So thank you.
I haven't reached my quota of speeches yet. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here. Although it's my second time to be here, I've heard it often enough to, I think, believe it, that we come here to learn by doing. But I thought I was going to be exempted today. Thank you, Monica, for giving me the chance to say something totally about tracking your goal. Because by talking, I was actually listening to myself and thinking, how disorganized, how come you can talk? You need to be a member of Toastmasters. Imagine all these people talking the way they did. I want to be like that too. So I believe on my second day I've made my decision. I hope the time will allow that I can come to the next meeting because of course of schedules. But I have this conviction, I want to be like all the speakers in this room. Thank you.
You're still a guest.
Yeah, so as I told you in the morning, I decided before even I come to here to be a member.
Suresh, you already said a lot. You're technically like half a guest, half a member. But please, I would like you to say something else. If there is anything you want to add.
No, I think I have pretty much covered.
Thank you. It is great. I want to say that it's great to have you here because it's always nice to see the exchange of ideas and fresh air that a member of another club brings. So I would like you to continue coming, time permitting. So, to conclude, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for jumping in for roles. We have this easy speak tool that allows us to already sign up in advance, to say if you are coming, number one, and number two, to take a role. As you, Maricel said, this is learning by doing, and as you, Andrea said, this is Annalisa. Sorry. We are a safe environment, and that's why we should dare, let's say, to get out of our comfort zone and do something we are afraid of, because we will help each other. We mutually support each other. This is what we do. We practice. We make mistakes, but try to learn from them. And our colleagues, you very nicely said it, we don't give criticism. We try to give motivation and try to give ideas to the others how to become better speakers. And we all need to practice. I realized I've been out for, I think, 2 months, and I remember your words, I did get rusty. So it's important to get, be in practice and be active as you can be. It can be a small role, a bigger role. Vary, change, and become active, and then it gets very easy, like riding a bike. So looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. That's the 29th of May. Thank you very much, Suresh. 26th of May, and I declare the meeting adjourned.